Hey guys, I'm sorry. I'm just like the bringer of bad news, I guess, according to some people. But man, Jaden Rashada decides that he calls or decided today that he was going to call Scott Strickland and ask for a release from his letter of intent. He no longer wants to come to the University of Florida. Apparently, over the last few weeks, there's been some ups and downs and snags with his NIL deal. And our NIL at Florida is trash. It's unorganized. Um, there's too many people trying to get money, make money off of these deals. Apparently, again, I'm not blaming this on Billy Napier or the collective. I don't know whose fault it is, but the fact that it's happening, period, is not a good look for the University of Florida. It's not a good look for any of them, really. Um, I think there's blame to be on both sides. You know, we know how this recruitment went with him at Miami and Ruiz, the lawyer down there, throwing around money, and then him backing off of Miami. I mean, he did Miami that way too. Then he commits to Florida. Billy gets up there and says all kinds of outstanding things about him and his dad. And, you know, and then this happens. So I don't know what's going on. And I'm not blaming either side because it's not my business and I don't know what's going on. I'm just bringing you guys the news that Jaden Rashada, it's being reported that he is asking out for release from his LOI and will not be attending the University of Florida. We just have the worst luck in the world with quarterbacks. Um, this sets Florida back an extra year on top of y'all's, some people's 10-year rebuild that they, I guess are okay with waiting for. But anyway, this is what we're looking at right now. Not a good situation at all. Florida is going to have to address this like now in the transfer portal. They either pick up a guy this week before it closes, or they pick up a guy the first week or two of March whenever the spring portal opens up. I'm pretty sure it opens during spring practice in the middle of March. The options are going to be limited. They aren't going to be as good as they were. We missed on our top 5 options that we had and went down to like option 6 with Mertz. But anyway, Florida's going to have to look for somebody in that spring portal. You cannot go into fall camp with what we have in that room. It is such an untalented, unproven room with, yes, experience, some playing experience with one guy, but a low-ranked diamond in the rough project guy, a guy who failed at his first stop over 4 years, saw no success against any of the good programs he played against. His only good games were against teams like Illinois State. His stats are horrific. It's a team that ran the ball 58% of the time, but he was sacked like 20-something, 25 times last year. I mean, he's not mobile. This offensive line is going to be a weakness next year. 3 of those spots are solidified, so you got 3 good bodies there, but there's no depth. There's no backups. You need 7 to 8 proven offensive linemen. You're going to have injuries. Right now, we've got 3, okay? Richie Leonard, I like to step in and play some snaps. I think he did okay. So we'll say 4. Let's be generous and say 4. Outside of that, I'm just saying, guys, yes, McCoos was a big pickup, but he was because he was a desperate need on this team. You lost 2 of your starting offensive linemen. You're just replacing them. These aren't extra bodies. This isn't someone else coming to compete with another starter. This is replacing somebody. So, I'm just being realistic about what's going on. I'm going to be there watching every game just like y'all, rooting on my Gators. I love my Gators. I hope we go 8-4 next year. And bounce back and have a decent season and at least be able to enjoy winning some games, get a couple wins, at least split the games between our rivals. Because right now, this is just, and again, I'm not crying. Look, I'm going to go home to my wife and kids, and I'm going to be in a great mood. This is a sport. It's a hobby for me. I enjoy making these videos for y'all. I like talking about football. That's the only reason I do this. When I get animated or passionate about, it ticks me off with this about Florida, or, I'm bummed out about this, I ain't legitimately depressed about Florida whiffing or a kid going somewhere else. But I am going to be factual and realistic, with the news that I'm bringing and what it means for Florida and our chances to be successful going forward. So anyway, I'm just reporting what's out there. I'm just regurgitating what I'm getting off of a paid membership that I have, just so I can get like the best inside info for y'all. And I stay in the news throughout the day because I love football. I love Florida. So I do stay on top of stuff and tend to pick up things, quicker than people who are busy, not able to keep up with as much as me. So, I'm just doing this. I like the back and forth. I love to chop it up with y'all about football. So y'all please continue to like and subscribe to the channel, and continue watching and leave comments, and good or bad, I don't care. But that's the news. Jaden Rashada is pretty much out. I doubt look, NCAA is not going to enforce his letter of intent to a school that he does not want to come to. This is done. You can forget it. Jaden Rashada is not coming to Florida. So let's move on and start figuring out what we need to do from here, what we think Florida needs to do, and start throwing some names out there, because apparently we take 10 years to evaluate a kid and offer somebody in the portal. So anyway, go Gators. Have a good day. I'll post this in just a few minutes, and y'all get the vid. Thanks.